Hi guys, this is John Adamson, the Rehab and Documentation Guru, and tonight I decided to start a new Facebook page. And the Facebook page is entitled Boycott, APTA, AOTA, and ASHA. Now, I'm proposing this in part as testing the waters. I want to test the waters about possibly seeing if people are interested in doing such a thing. And the reason I'm saying that is not that I haven't seen benefit of these organizations. In fact, these organizations have done a lot of good. I've also personally benefited from them in that I have a geriatric clinical specialty recognized by the APTA board. So to me, the organization of the APTA has been very important. However, I am concerned about a couple specific trends, and obviously I've talked about one in particular recently, and that is the push for greater and greater educational levels by these organizations who help fund the regulatory bodies that determine whether a program meets the entry level standards for a profession. And so we're seeing pushes for more and more education that put students in greater and greater debt with diminishing returns on our horizon, even experiencing them now. The advanced degrees have not yielded any additional benefit as an entry level point. Now, am I against advanced degrees? By no means, no. I've been blessed by the DPTs in my life. I've been blessed by those that had PhDs and other kinds of degrees. I'm not at all against doctorates of physical therapy if that so happens to be what you'd like to focus on. But as an entry level, as what I pointed out was I didn't believe it was necessary. I think doctorates should in general focus on more specializations and more advances in research and development. I know, for example, the APTA hopes that all entry-level therapists will be researchers in their own right. But the bottom line is you don't necessarily need a degree to do that. There's ways that you can learn about research. We really live in a day and age where we don't have to rely on going to a university and spending thousands upon thousands of dollars to learn more about research. We have it at our fingertips through search engines like Google Scholar, for example, that put so much research at our fingertips for us to review. And there's so many videos on YouTube, for example, that focus on how to interpret research. Very helpful. There's courses on statistics that you can take for free online. So anyway, these things are available at our fingertips that wouldn't cost us an arm and a leg to get a couple more years or 3 more years of schooling to get maybe the same clinical outcome. So anyway, my first purpose in starting the Facebook group is to test the waters to see if there are people that are current members of APTA, AOTA, and ASHA that would like to have a collective voice with these organizations and say enough is enough in pushing for the more advanced degrees when realistically it's harming the clinicians going into the field. And I believe that to be the case. The second reason I would say looking at boycotting is I'm concerned with the way that the APTA, AOTA, and ASHA might be spending the money they receive in dues. Dues has gone up, as you all know. It goes up regularly. Now they have, I believe the APTA has kind of flattened their dues increase for a while, but whenever I've gotten magazines from them or articles from them, I'm seeing a growing trend of the APTA, for example, of focusing on things that are not directly related to mobility science. And if you look at the APTA's vision statement or mission statement, I forget which one, I apologize, APTA, but it focuses on the fact that we are the movement specialists as PTs. OTs, your focus is on the word occupation, and everything that somebody does with their life is an occupation of some sort of meaningful, purposeful activity. And of course, speech, therapists focusing on speech, language, and voice. And so those really should be the only foci, you like that word, foci, of these organizations, really drilling down to just that. Now, do we need to get into For example, some psychosocial things that are going on a little bit, but like for example with the APTA, I've seen so much focus on diversity and inclusion in the field, and it's gotten overdone and it's a waste of resources. Let me summarize every course, and there are some college courses on in PT programs on diversity and inclusion. Let me summarize all those courses and all of the articles that have been written by the APTA and possibly AOTA and ASHA about diversity and inclusion. Here it is. Ready? Everybody is different. Be nice. That's all we need to reiterate. We don't need courses, and we don't need to waste resources on that. And so that's just an example, but I see the respective professional agencies, APTA, AOT, and ASHA, getting involved in things that they don't need to focus on. And that's a waste of resources, which is money, which you pay in dues. So anyway, those are the two main foci that I'm hoping to achieve with starting this Facebook group. If you're interested, you can easily find it and join it. And let's see if there's people interested. Start a groundswell movement, and then maybe not ban them per se, but just say, hey, we've got a lot of people who are dissatisfied members of these organizations. We'd like to sit down and talk. Anyway, consider it. John Adamson, the Rehab and Documentation Guru, wishing you a wonderful night. Take care and God bless.